All right, and we are back for the final bid game between Texas State and SHSU. A rematch of the game earlier today with SHSU coming out on top over Texas State. A dominating defensive performance, but now Texas State looking to answer back. The last game doesn't matter anymore. All that matters now is whoever wins this one. So it'll be exciting to see what Texas State does differently and what SHSU does to respond to that.
Ashton. Yeah, what's up? Are you supposed to be doing that? I don't have it. I'll take you out there. Hey, come find me now.
Okay. You gonna be right there? All right.
My name's Michael Rodriguez, and I'm here with...
Oh, my name's Ashton Lewis. I play for the Houston Cosmos, and I also practice weekly with Sam Houston State University. Chris Dorsey. And there we go. That's Chase right there. He is actually relatively new to the sport. And believe it or not, a lot of times you see big guys playing Quidditch, and you expect them to be driving and stuff like that. Chase has a really good knack for vision around the hoop where people are least expecting him to be. And actually, that's a great way that he scores most of his goals on a regular basis.
Yeah, having vision and trusting your teammates to finish is very important in Quidditch.
Looks like we got a base 2-2 zone here for Sam Houston State University, and Twom from Texas State's going to get beat out. Maya's going to miss her beat, and it looks like a free run for Texas State here, and that's Brandy who gets taken down behind the hoops. Great tackle, and now we have an MVP on the field right here. This is MVP Hayden Boyce, who is a Team USA hopeful, actually applying this year, and has a ton of MLQ experience, 2 years in a row playing for the League City Legends, and the leading goal scorer for Sam Houston State University.
Yeah, Boyce has been a key part of this team's offense and defense in the last game. Blocks a beat there and finishes at the left hoop.
Oh, man. Hayden just got robbed on that one. It looked like are they trying to say that the only thing that you could take there is that the bludger somehow hit Hayden's thigh, underneath his thigh after he jumped in the air.
Yeah.
And he's upset about that because most of the time that move works.
Yeah, unfortunate. But I guess the ref had a better angle than us on that. But now Texas State has the ball looking to counterattack.
Shout out to Simona Rins, who popularized the leaping over bludger aspect. Now, believe it or not, former chaser, now beater for Texas Cavalry. So on the opposite side of the throw. Great drive from on the other side there. Nice vision to get the ball to Brandy. Brandy typically plays beater for Texas State University. As a matter of fact, has made it a big stink about not being able to play chaser. I think she just got some evidence to tell her coach that she should be out there with the white headband on.
Absolutely, and this is a stark contrast from the last time these two teams played against each other, where Texas State went scoreless for almost the entire first half, but now currently has points on the board, which is very impressive.
And this is the disappointing part about Texas State's season so far, especially their performance here at Southwest Regionals. They are capable of doing this every single game, and they just don't. Look, great tackle attempt there, good beat attempt as well. Chase with a nice snag and another goal behind the hoop there. And now they're going back and forth here. And like we said, like you just said, Michael, Texas State last time they played Sam Houston State University got 20 points at the end of that game when it was all said and done, and they are one goal away from matching that total, and we're only 5 minutes into this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. The difference in both teams right now is stark. Texas State coming back from playing a game that did not favor them at all, but they seem to have a lot more confidence now, and SHSU has to step up and continue to be aggressive.
And great intelligence on the part of Texas State to keep rotating around. Nice beat from Connor from Sam Houston State University over there, and a scrum behind the hoop. Joan is going to come up with it. Joan Alexander typically plays beater, but due to the personnel for Sam Houston State this weekend has been pulled into the chaser role and has actually been working really hard on staying aggressive and really wants to become a ball carrier based off of what I've experienced in practice. Kit takes a beat there. Ellen is way out of position. Her bludger's rolling off field, and it's created a no bludger situation. Chris Dorsey with the pass to Hayden Boyce.
Oh, no.
He kicks it back, saves it for a second, but it looks like Texas State might be on a run here.
They're going for it. He's driving in, loses the quaffle.
Oh, Chris Dorsey with a beautiful strip on the ball arm, not going for the tackle, instead waiting for the shot attempt where you reel back. And if you've been a chaser, you know this. If you haven't or been a chaser or a keeper, you kind of focus in on the hoop way too much, and you lose spatial awareness around you right before you get there, and that's the perfect time to strike when somebody wants to strike your arm and get the ball out of it.
Yeah, Dorsey was really good at doing that in the last game. Had 3 or 4 attempts back-to-back on stripping the ball away and doing that again in this match.
And that's only possible with relentless hustle, kids. Remember that. Hayden Boyd's going to recover, and this looks like it's going to be reset used, and Sam Houston State's going to be in a bad spot. Kit is actually going to avoid a beat. Oh, and their only bludger will be behind them here, so they're going to slow walk this one up. And now Quaffle pressure's on the way, and nobody's coming to help Hayden. Chris Dorsey's on his way out there. The only other beater now control lies with Sam Houston State. A tackle attempt, nice tackle attempt on that one, and they're definitely going to call tripping. Oh, no. Chris got wrapped up on the tackle, and hopefully he's all right here.
Yeah, that would be a tough loss for SHSU. Dorsey being a key component of both the offense and defense for this team. Hopefully he's okay. Well, the score remains.
If Chris is out for any period of time, this is going to be massive for Sam Houston State.
Yeah, the score remains 20-10 in favor of Sam Houston, but it's still anyone's game at this point. What do you think Texas State has to do to start getting points and possibly take a lead?
I'm sorry, Chris has worked really hard to get to this point, and he's down, and hopefully his ankle is all right, because it seems like that's what the situation was, and hopefully it's just a little bit of pain here, but yeah, he's getting up. But Texas State, their focus has been a lot of their offensive drives have been set up, won by some really good beater play up front. Even with missed beats, they're still finding openings there. Great vision from their keeper to get a lot of assist passing. And I think, honestly, they need to stick with what they've been doing. They're just not doing it at the same time. That chaser beater timing is paramount to the success of, like, any team that we're talking about here. And it's something that even MLQ teams struggle to maintain throughout the course of an entire game. So Texas State going to have to work on that while they're subbing people in and out. And speaking of injuries, Texas State has had some massive losses in terms of injuries so far in this game. They lost Emmanuel Bustos, who's one of their best goal scorers out there. He has shattered his collarbone.
No.
I saw the x-ray last night. It was wild. But he is going to be on the path to getting healthy, because there are 2 months until U.S. Quidditch Cup in Salt Lake City, Utah. And, everybody, after this is over, last game of the day here, after this game is over, everybody's going to get back to their home cities and get back to class and stuff like that. But the eye is on the prize after this one is done. Yeah. It is going to be trying to hoist that national championship. And Chris Dorsey's still down. Looks like he's going to be able to put weight on that ankle.
Yeah. Getting up with some assistance, but is able to gingerly jog off the field.
And Chris yesterday had an injury situation, took a blow to the face during a tackle, and once again, Quidditch a rough sport, no doubt about that. Yeah. If there's one thing that is universally the same between Quidditch in real life and the books, it is the quote, Quidditch, rough sport, eh?
Yeah.
Iconic. Chris has actually beat, some good news here. Chris Dorsey beat the trainers over to the trainers table, hopping over there. So hopefully they're just going to have to wrap it up and he can return to the sideline, because if anything, he's a huge inspiration to his teammates, and he keeps the chasers in line. So, yeah, so they're almost forgot about that. It was a great
happened before the we went down.
And with the recent addition of 2-arm tackling to U.S. Quidditch and Major League Quidditch, number 66 on there. Great job on the initial wrap, but as Chris Dorsey was spinning out of it, he was losing his positioning around Chris Dorsey's hips, and it resulted in a trip.
Ooh, Quaffle goes a bit high.
Chase is able to wrap that one up, and now it looks like he might have an opportunity to drive, and he's also got a pass option. Yeah, there we go.
Great job. I love the selflessness there to make that pass instead of taking it in by himself.
Great focus. That is an example of what they've been working on all season, and one thing for sure, oh man, are they about to take this goal away?
Oh no, that would be unfortunate.
I also like to point out the goal scorer on that play is Brandon Kubina. A lot of people like to talk about Hayden Boyce and Chris Dorsey when they talk about Sam Houston State University. They talk about Jonah Alexander. Goal is no good. That's a rough one. And it may be because it went out of bounds when Chase initially touched it, and that's why it's going back to Texas State instantly. But going back to Brandon Kubina, who's in here at keeper, he's also played for Major League Quidditch the last 2 seasons and has actually scored his first 3 goals last year, and that was a huge moment for him. He's been working really hard, and you can see a little bit there. Really, really bad luck that didn't go through, or didn't count, because it looks like Chase stepped out of bounds on the back half of the field.
Absolutely. Oh, beautiful catch, controls it. Amazing, passes it back. Keeper drives in, loses it. Solid defense by SHSU there to recover the Quaffle.
Let's see, do they? Yes, they do. Sam Houston not only got that defensive stop, but they got bludger control back. That is a huge advantage. Let's see if Brandon can take advantage of this one. Brandon, one of the nastier ball carriers for Sam Houston State University. Looks like he's subbed out, and Ashton Butler and Mike are going to sub in here. Mike, one of the best tacklers for Sam Houston State University.
Couple exchange of bludgers, Coffin being passed over. Good looks by the hoops. The selflessness across the team, all the positions, everyone getting involved in the play. Love to see it.
And as the person that goes to Sam Houston State University practices, yes, if you're wondering, his name is Ashton, the previous goal scorer, and my name is Ashton, and so they have to say our names twice as loud when we're at practice because we both get confused. So Ashton at 6'4", really good target behind the hoops, as you can imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows how to get the job done. Love the execution there. Texas State, in the meantime, now trailing by 30 points, looking to decrease that on this next possession.
And the 2-2 zone for Sam Houston State University has forced a lot of bobbled passes behind the hoops.
Let's see how they try to break this down.
Oh, that's a wide open shot. Oh, great beat. That is a turnover for the late throw. But not only was that a really good pass back up top, that was a wide open shot. Just a little bit of hesitation because the Chasers are on the hoops.
Yeah, there's not a lot of scoring opportunities. They kind of collapse so quickly that even when you move the ball around, that window to score closes so fast. You don't have an opportunity to get your shot off, and when you hesitate, that beater read the play perfectly and just took him out.
And the benefit of the zone overall, and it looks like we may, oh man. It looks like Kid is down here, and they are going to hop back up, so there's not a trainer needed. That's good. I think they're going to force Kit to sub out, because they had to take a
small tumble on a timeout. Yeah, just for safety reasons, really, just to make sure everyone's okay.
And this is day 2 of the Southwest Regionals. A lot of these players have played a ton of minutes in day 1 to get to this point. So,
yeah, and the last game between these two teams was very physical. A lot of contact happening on both sides. No call, everything's clean.
They'll just turn the ball. They'll turn quaffle possession over to Sam Houston State University. There will be no card for playing after beat, which seems pretty effective. Hayden's on a run. Here we go. Cutting back inside. He's going to get that shot going, and that's one of the deadlier parts about Hayden Boyce. A lot of people struggle to tackle him. Even more people struggle to stop his shot. Versatility in your game, kids.
He's been automatic from that distance this entire weekend, honestly. It's so difficult. If you do wrap him up, he can shoot from far away.
Correct.
You don't want him to get closer to make it easier for him. He is very hard to stop.
And let's see if Texas State can finally piece it together again here like they did earlier to get that first goal of the game. Like we said, they've been struggling with their beater-chaser timing when it comes to getting their attacks going. Looks like Kit has mauled Maya to get her ball back from her. Maya Hiddenbaugh, the team captain for Texas State. First woman team captain in almost a decade for Texas State. Pass behind the hoops. Great look. Bobbled pass. Zone's closing in, and there is a beat. And, yeah, that's going to be afterwards. They're going to turn that ball over to Sam Houston State University.
Unfortunate turn of events there. The execution, like you mentioned, just hasn't quite been in sync between all the players on the field. They have small opportunities, but they're just not connecting perfectly on those passes.
And the windows are small thanks to Sam Houston State University's defense, but they are there, and hopefully Texas State can see that and won't get discouraged. Number 30, you want to talk about relentless, has been going up and down this field this entire game, defense and offense. He's been on point. Driving in, almost tipped that ball out, and Hayden gets a nice dunk. Somehow takes out Twom, the beater, for Texas State as he was trying to tag back in.
Yeah, showing the versatility of his offensive abilities, shooting before and now just driving in and dunking with authority, but looks like there's going to be a stoppage.
Yeah, Texas State making the smart move, calling their timeout now before it gets completely out of hand here.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah, this was a necessary timeout for them.
And we mentioned it in the previous game before when UTSA was playing against Texas. They had a moment there where they were down by 7 goals, and Craig Garrison, their head coach, made a brilliant decision to call the timeout because not only were they down a bunch of goals, but their players were playing way too loose out there in terms of their formation, and it turned into a key moment for UTSA to regain their composure and be able to battle back with UT. Although they did lose that game, they played much better after that timeout was called, and they scored about 4 goals on the previous 5 possessions.
Unanswered, yeah, exactly. That it was the 2 games before. There's like night and day basically after that timeout. It's so important to reset your mental state, kind of recalibrate. Hey, things aren't going well right now, but that doesn't mean they have to continue like that. We can adjust. We are a good team. We just have to find our footing. And previously they were down 7-0 in the last game before the timeout. Now they're only down 6-10, so they're technically doing better than they were in the last game.
Yep.
Obviously still not great for them, but this game isn't over, and they have a lot of chances to score. They just have to execute just a tiny bit better.
And Sam Houston is definitely upset. They've been working on their set offense for quite some time. They scored their last couple of goals in transition, but facts are they expect great things for themselves.
Absolutely, as they should. They've been a great team this entire weekend. I love the athleticism across the board. The depth on their roster is quite inspiring. You don't tend to see that a lot from teams. Usually they have 3 or 4 star players, but really everyone on this team has stepped up at different points and really shown up when they needed to.
No doubt, it's the new uniforms. It's the new unis, guys.
New uniforms, yeah.
And as we are getting further and further away from the pandemic initiating point of COVID-19 in 2020, we're starting to see a lot of these college teams regain their recruiting where they were before. A lot of college players had to move on after their senior year to the community level and didn't get a chance to play their last year and kind of culminate their college careers. So you're seeing a lot of new faces across the board in college Quidditch overall. So that's why we're seeing some of these inexperienced plays that are not working out so far, and that's why we're seeing some great names emerge.
Yeah, and you love to see that too. I mean, this is where experience grows, right? This is where you build that.
These are games that matter.
These are the games that matter, yeah. Whoever wins this one gets the bid.
Twom gets beat there for a second while he's trying to scuff, and it looks like this is a no-bludger situation. Let's see if Ashton can finish on this one. Great pass on his part. Let's see. Nice vision. Great block by 49, and now he's on a run. And he gets beat in the calf there. If he had just stayed inside the keeper zone, he might have been fine for a second.
Yeah, I love that play, though, by Sam Houston. That was really good give and go. The keeper from Texas State just was able to read it, intercepted. Great defensive effort by him. But Sam Houston definitely, they're making plays on offense.
And it looks like Maya Hiddenbaugh is hurt here, and she might need to be subbed out.
Oh, no.
She's hunched over, and it may have been the wind knocked out of her. Hopefully she's all right.
And you mentioned she's the captain for this team, right?
That is correct.
She's a central figure in this team's leadership, and this is going to be a hard blow to lose her. It looks like she's walking off. She seems to be okay.
And Twom is going to, after that great play to not only regain bludgeon control, but also assist with the stop on the fast break there. Twom's been killing it today, and hopefully they're going to be all right.
Yeah. Looks like play will be resuming shortly. The deficit is only 50 right now for Texas State, with SHU leading 60 points to 10.
And it looks like Sam Houston has rotated to their man defense here, as they've got 3 chasers above the keeper's own line and nobody sitting on the hoops. See if they work on their help position well.
Very interesting. Why do you think they switched away from their zone since it was working so well in the first half?
Sometimes you got to mix it up a little bit. Sam Houston is a team that does like to get physical, and man-to-man defense allows you to get a lot more physical in terms of your attack, especially against a box defense.
Well, let's see if it works out for them now. Texas State with an opportunity to score, passes it back up top.
It's
wrapped up, taken down.
I don't know what he was thinking on that play.
That was rough. What did you see there?
I mean, we should be hoping that that's not a red for hitting a reckless receiver.
Helpless receiver, yeah. He was going up for the quaffle, didn't come down fully with control, landing safely.
If it wasn't that, it was back contact initially. Yeah, contact from behind on that one, which is a good call, especially since 49 was able to hop back up, and now Sam Houston stayed down a chaser like they were earlier in the first matchup, where they were down 3 chasers at one point.
And were still able to hold down the fort.
Correct.
Very impressive by them. I've never seen something like that. Let's see if Texas State has been able to recalibrate after that timeout. Let's see if they can find some magic here on this play.
Missed that, yeah. And that's disappointing. So when you're a chaser and you know that your opponent is down a chaser indefinitely until you score, you never want to see a shot, especially in the Southwest region where you know that there are a lot of athletes. You want to see people driving in and have that willingness to take the contact. And I don't think 49 ever has any aversion to contact. Based off of what I've seen so far, definitely 100% need him to drive in, take that contact, and score that goal. Sometimes you got to show people that you are here to play, and that comes from putting your shoulder into people like we saw with Hayden Boyce earlier with that dunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Forcing the drive in makes the team respect your ability to drive, forcing them to step out.
Another great tackle. 66 and number 30 for Texas State have been impeccable with their two-arm tackling, man.
Yeah. Great defensive effort there at Texas State, stopping SHU's counterattack. Remember, they're still down one player.
Yeah.
Should be coming out of the box shortly.
And that's the problem. You want to get at least one goal while that person, and now they're back at full strength. You want to get at least one goal when you got a 1-minute penalty on someone. That's a tough look.
Yeah, that power play for Texas State was fleeting, but now with a few substitutions, look like some new fresh legs are on the field for Texas State. Let's see if they can do something different.
Rotating over, they're staying back pretty far, which keeps the beaters out of range from being able to attack the quaffle. They have to make a decisive decision. And now on the attack there, getting it over there. That's a good pass, driving in. Good and the tackle attempt from Mitchell, the keeper in that situation, sets up the beat. It turns the ball over.
Yeah, great work there by SHSU. Looked like they went back to their zone briefly in that possession, and I don't think Texas State was ready to see that. They were probably expecting that point coverage up top with everyone spread out, but suddenly everyone was in front of the hoops and the shots weren't there.
And there's a chunk of guys on Sam Houston State University, and this is awareness on the coaching part. Not only do they know that they need to set them up a little bit better, but there's guys who play better in zone than they do in man, and the team rotates to that situation, which you love to see really in terms of leadership, knowing your players that well.
Yes, absolutely. Good passing play. Quaffle's on the ground, though. Texas State recovers.
And Mitchell, number 10 there, the keeper, will confirm Guy wants to be the best in the game. Guy wants to push himself to be the best. He actually beats himself up a little too much in terms of what the leadership says about him. So hopefully he can he can keep his head in the game mentally after a pass like that. He knows that 9 times out of 10 he catches that and gets a goal out of it. He's got to be a little disappointed. Great pass by Joan Alexander, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Focus is so important in situations like these where the game isn't super close, but still every point matters, right? So Texas State looking to answer back now on offense, passing the quaffle a little bit more than they were before. A little bit. Butters are thrown. Butters are on the ground. No beaters in front of the hoops. Texas State have a chance to score, looking for it.
And Jackson, looks like Jordan is going to get taken down. Jose's down too. But the important thing that they're definitely going to call is tackling a player without the ball. Jordan had it when the tackle was initiated, but it popped out immediately, and that's how that rule is called. Me personally, I don't like that because it seems like, at any point somebody could just drop the ball and then all of a sudden you've got an illegal tackle on your hands. That's kind of rough. But going back to see what the refs are going to say here, and then we can talk about what happened on that possession for Texas State. Because it looks like Sam Houston is going to send yet another player to the box.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there. Texas State with a really good opportunity to score there before the play was stopped.
And that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, really good passing before there to spread the quaffle around. They forced SHU's defense to move over to the right side of the field and swung it back to the left, leaving that hoop wide open. Unfortunately, the play was stopped.
Ooh.
That was contact from behind. All right.
That is correct. They're going to send Wyatt Fredrickson to the box here. Wyatt, one of the best tacklers for Sam Houston State University, but so far we've seen him pick up his second yellow. He's one away from being ejected from the game completely. So he's got to rein it in. He's a really good player, but he's playing a little too loose.
Yeah, a little bit more discipline than will help.
And Jordan should get this one. He's a big body guy.
Blender right behind him though.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. See, that's
good reset. Good awareness there. Nope. I guess he's calling.
They called it beat. They throw it.
Pass. Yep.
Going back to that last possession, there were about 6 passes before Jordan was able to get that ball that triggered the penalty. The important thing there is the beaters are doing an amazing job of delaying the other beaters for Sam Houston State University.
And massive work.
Every Texas State chaser refused to drive on that play, and that's why they didn't get that goal, and that's the disappointing part. The beaters do a great job. That's the beater chaser timing we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Mitchell with a nice shot on that one. Good vision.
Yeah, from the other side, as soon as the beater made a play there from SHSU, the chaser stepped up and just ripped the shot. Didn't even wait for the Butler to hit the ground. He just knew he was safe and took it.
And that's what separates Sam Houston State from a lot of college teams. If you don't contest them before they get about 5 feet outside the keeper zone line, every single one of those guys and gals and theys is going to rip it. That's just how it is. That's how they've been taught. Shout out Travis Ward, if he's out there listening.
Shooter's got to shoot, right?
Exactly. The nature of the game.
Texas State.
Great throw.
Butters are thrown. There's clash. Quaffle's up in the air. Falls to the ground. SHSU recovers the quaffle. There's a bit of a scrum, but it looks like they are going to clean it up with the beater help there. Great defensive effort by everyone. SH totally swarmed the quaffle, but Texas State not able to connect on that pass there.
The score is 70-10 right now, and it's about to be, they call Mitchell's shot no good. Looked like it made it hook down. But the score is 70-10 right now, and Texas State has done, if it's a 10-step puzzle piece, they've gotten to step 9 and then not been able to do step 10, and it's cost them about 5 goals in this game so far. And it's tough when you're doing everything right except putting the ball through the hoop, and that's what we're seeing a lot of from Texas State. And hopefully it doesn't discourage them, because honestly, if you've ever played Quidditch, you know offense turns on and off like a faucet unless you got a distinct plan every single time. I expect them to go out here and turn this one on, because they've done too much work to get to this point. So
yeah, you can have a series of really great passes, but ultimately the last one is what matters. And now converting their defense into some offense potentially. Texas State taking some time, being a lot more patient, passing the ball around. Unfortunately intercepted by SHSU. Looking to fast break on him.
Here we go.
Big body, takes the hit, rolls through it, keeps charging through the hoop, shakes another one off. He wants to score, he's looking for it, drops the quaffle, another scrum. Texas State recovers. Unlucky for SHSU, but really fortunate for Texas State.
And once again, you see that kind of hustle from a keeper, because as soon as the keeper gets the ball inside the keeper's on, that fast break is over. Great job by 69 on that drive attempt there. And once again, kids, pure basics of stopping bigger chasers than you. Go for the ball. Because remember, the players jumping through the hoops is exactly 0 points in Quidditch. The ball has to go through the hoop.
Can't score without the ball, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Texas State now, hopefully, with a little bit more motivation from that great defensive stop. Still down 70-10 against SHSU. Keeper on Texas State being patient, looking for options.
He's calling for a reverse, and he's going to hand it off there.
Good spacing there by the chasers. Keeping the ball alive, not using their reset.
Sam Houston's defenders are extending further out beyond the keeper's own line, so that's bad timing for Texas State.
Good pass behind the hoops. Texas State looking to score, passing again, being patient, looking for the open chaser, finds it. Unfortunate, is taken down, but there might be a delayed penalty on this play. What did you see there?
That is that was literally step 9. And step 10 was put the ball through the hoop.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Texas State had every single chaser touch the ball on that play. They rotated to a chaser who was cutting towards the hoop, and once again, you can't take credit away from anybody making a great defensive play. Mitchell came over, rotated perfectly, went for the ball, ripped that one down. Really glad that 77 is all right, because it looked like she fell backwards when Mitchell made contact with the ball. Good vision. Texas State, at the very least, is going to have bludgeon control out of this, but that was fantastic offense from Texas State. Just somebody needed to get in there quicker and finish on that drive.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Texas State, but you love to see good passing.
Yes, the Texas State's unselfishness is paramount to why they're able to even be in this game, because honestly, if they go on a run where they score 3 or 4 goals in a run, 3 or 4 goals in a row, we should not be surprised.
Yeah. And they should absolutely feel good about that possession, even though they did not score. They did everything right before that. They can do it again on their next attempt.
30 once again. Great tackle form. Somehow, some way. Never seen this guy play before. Great tackle form.
Yeah, and it looks like the reset was forced from Texas State. So good defense there. Now able to apply a lot more pressure. Bludgers are being thrown. Was that blocked?
Yeah, no. Maya was trying to get in Ashton's head there for a second, and actually set him up for that one. She threw her bludger at Ashton. He blocked it with the quaffle.
Oh, huge fast break potential now. Nope, but SHSU's good hustle by them, able to slow it down, did not want to give Texas State an easy fast break. But Maya clearing out the defense, passing the ball off, rolling. Are they going to be able to get there in time? No, unfortunate. But
and until we see Texas State willing to take some contact, they're going to remain at that 10 goal. That 10 points that they have on the board. So far, we've seen them do some fantastic passing. We've seen people get into great positioning. We have yet to see anybody take a hit on the way to the hoops, and that's the only way you're going to be able to get past Sam Houston. As you can tell, you see them as the game started off, they were playing their 2-2 zone, and now they're extending further and further out because their defensive confidence is building.
Absolutely, and you kind of want to think that maybe Texas State needs to slow the offensive tempo down just a little bit. Good
and
shot
right
that one.
It went straight through, yeah.
Yeah, if Texas State is able to slow down their offense just a little bit, get some tempo, be a little bit more in control, and then use one of their chasers to drive in, draw attention from the defense from Sam Houston, which is so good at collapsing on the quaffle, and then make that pass to the open chaser, they should be able to get more clean looks at an open hoop.
Yeah, and this is bad news for Texas State. Sam Houston's got their starters essentially back into this game with Hayden out there again.
Great
job by
Hayden.
40. Yeah. Great movement from 49. He's keeping Hayden off balance to the point where he can't complete a tackle, so he can keep the ball behind it in a key space. Takes a shot. Mike is right there in front of the hoop. Great catch.
So unfortunate. The Texas State beater went behind the hoops to clear out all the defenders. There was only one person on broom left, but that was the one person they needed to stop that shot.
Exactly. And these Sam Houston kids, like we mentioned before, a lot of them have either actual MLQ game experience or MLQ practice experience. So they're very, very familiar with a lot of strategy that's utilized at the community level. So they see a ton of that before they ever get out here to play college ball. That's a missed beat, and Hayden's loose here. There's only one bludger up for Texas State with their 2-2 zone.
How many moves is it going to take this man down? Who knows? Oh,
Hayden
beater comes from behind.
Hayden saw that. He was hoping that Ashton would cut towards the hoop, but Ashton is going to retreat fully. And remember, he can go all the way beyond. The keeper's online as long as it's one smooth motion. I'll be interested to see if Texas State turns on the pressure as soon as they come across half pitch.
Yeah,
again.
I agree. I think they should. They have nothing to lose at this point. If they don't start being aggressive at this point, if they just start trading goals with them, that's not going to help them win this game. They need to apply pressure.
Here they come.
They're
going to take Hayden out. Now Ashton's up there by himself. Let's see if he can make a clean pass to Mike across the field. Great tackle again. Looks like it was setting up to be a turnover. Mike's got the ball. He's loose. Mike's looking for Chase over there. He sees him.
Beaters are taking out the passing options. Not many people left to pass to. Boyce wants to take it himself, though. He's taken to the ground. Loses the quaffle. Great defense.
And look at that. Kyle's over there to protect the ball and reset it. And good vision over there. Ashton knew that there was a beater behind him, number 42, and he was just like, I knew he has to take that shot or see if he can get the ball to Chase behind the hoops.
Yeah, that was actually pretty smart, because if he just lost it there, it would have resulted in a potential fast break for Texas State, and they do not want to give up any easy points in this game. They have a lead, 80-10, but we've seen this weekend a lot of teams come back from a huge deficit, especially when you consider snitch on pitch play, where those extra 35 points can be a huge difference.
And remember, the 35 points isn't just going to your score, it's taking the ability for the other team to get that 35 points away, and sometimes that's more important than actually pulling for the points.
It's basically a 70-point swing, basically. It's huge. The momentum shift too, the mindset, because now the Chasers feel confident that, hey, we have a chance in this game. All we have to do is score a little bit more, and suddenly we're tied.
And remember, when you're the team that's in the lead, you pull the snitch, that's almost half the amount of points you need to win this game. So you need that 70 in total. You get 35 from the snitch pull, and I have a strange feeling with Justin Guillory out here playing snitch for us. We may see some interesting strategy in terms of not going for the snitch.
Interesting. Do you think the Seekers will play defensively, or that the beaters will just focus more on the quaffle game?
Well, with Sam Houston State up this much, they may elect to go straight for quaffle points, which could be the opening that Texas State needs to be able to go out there and pull that snitch. Because right now they have Mitchell. Mitchell's pretty good. Mitchell's a pretty long-armed guy, and he's actually pulled multiple times at Breakfast Taco. He's pulled a bunch as well. He's pulled a Diamond Cup. So we'll see if he comes out here, or if they can figure out. Haven't seen Chris Dorsey return to the sideline just yet, unless I haven't spotted him somewhere.
No, he's still being checked out, but it looks like he's able to walk around. It seems like he might be okay. They just want to make sure that he's 100% before he returns to the field. Looks like the set score, though, will be 150. So Texas State needing 14 goals in order to win this game. SHSU, Sam Houston, only needing 7. Potential snitch catch can make that a lot easier for both teams.
Okay. Yeah, Texas State down 80-10 right now, and they're having a conversation. Number 49 has actually done a great job at the keeper position. He's the starting keeper for Texas State. Done a great job of finding open space. Like I said before, we're not seeing Texas State willing to take any contact from anybody, though. They're willing to dish it out. Number 30 and number 66 have been doing a fantastic job in terms of getting these tackles off. I've never seen Hayden Boyce tackle that many times in the course of like pre-snitch on pitch play. But that's something to build on right there.
Yeah. as the quaffle game opens up more while the snitch is on the field, I'm
Right.
hoping to see a little bit more aggression from number 49.
Right.
Still making those passes, but being a little bit more aggressive in terms of initiating the contact, making the defense really commit to stopping him so he can create opportunities for his teammates.
And I've been told that 49 has a football background at defensive back, so we'll see how this goes. Travis Christian Barnes out here reffing for us as well. And Arjun Palat, AJ, has a lot of people calling for Team Pegasus, who came in third place at Southwest Regionals. And are already back at home because Club Regionals was only one day. A lot of people took advantage of the ability to go back to Houston and partied up a little bit because we got 2 months until Nationals.
Yeah, it's important for the teams here to get this bid prior to Nationals. Texas State.
Looks like Wyatt's going to come out here first. And remember, Wyatt already has 2 yellow cards. So if he gets ejected, it could mean, it actually will mean that Sam Houston will have to go with no seeker for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And because that player slot will be taken away.
Absolutely.
Maya trying to get us beat on the seeker here. And Texas State going with a female seeker, number 5 here.
Yeah, Texas State still maintaining bludger control. And actually, no, just lost it now. Sam Houston with the quaffle and bludger control looking to counterattack now. Looks like the beaters are spending a lot of time on the snitch. Should open up the quaffle game for boys and to make some plays, right?
And Texas State over here also running 2 female beater with Ellen Pandel out there. And Maya Hennenbaugh, their team captain, playing. Wyatt's going to get some time alone with the snitch coming up here.
Yeah.
See if he can get past Justin's power. Justin's got a football background, so you got to come out there with some pass rush moves. Maya with a hit on Connor. Connor's going to return back.
Seeger really close to trying to go under the snitch, catch him by surprise. But Texas State with a quick steal of the quaffle on the last defensive possession. Being very patient now. Again, they like passing the ball. They're doing a good job. They need to get a little bit closer to the hoops to get a clean shot off. Looks like Sam Houston is going back to their mark defense or man defense, opening up their zone a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Getting that pressure extending out is seemingly affecting Texas State very, very much so. So they're trying to take advantage of it. Back up top, number 49 dodges a beat, loses the quaffle in the front, recovers it. Oh, gets Hayden on his skates there for a second, and now a recovery of a missed shot from Sam Houston State University. Jordan, number 52 for Texas State, is now in there.
There you go.
All right,
Wyatt's going to get some more alone time.
Yeah, let's see if he can make a move here. Plenty of time alone, no beaters around him.
And it looks like we should be getting a keeper zone countdown now that the possession is fully in the hand of Sam Houston State keeper right now, Ashton Butler.
Yeah, meanwhile, the entire field is looking at the snitch right now. Everyone's just walking the quaffle up. All right, Sam Houston ready to attack now. Ooh, dive by the seeker, just barely misses the tail.
And Alex is out there playing beater for Sam Houston State University at the point position. Hayden's running past a couple of defenders. Maya's distracted. She's beat. And now looks like it could potentially be, and it is blocked by number 49. Ooh. Hayden allowing that ball to float just a little bit too much. He's going to want that one back.
Yeah, rare mistake from him. Great dive by Sam Houston State seeker.
That is Wyatt for the pull here, ladies and gentlemen, if it is clean.
Yeah, from my perspective, that looked amazingly clean. I don't think he interfered with the snitch at all. With that'll be amazing momentum for Sam Houston, but really unfortunate for Texas State.
Wyatt with 2 yellow cards here, coming up with the snitch pull, very clutch.
Yeah.
And that is going to be good for Sam Houston. And now, as time goes on, we start to realize Texas State's in a real rough position. They scored 20 points the last time they played against Sam Houston State University. They're still stuck at 10 as of right now. Yeah,
things are not looking good for Texas State. Their defense has been all right, on some occasions, but Sam Houston's offense has just been a little bit better. But on the flip side, Texas State's offense has been pretty good, but Sam Houston's defense has just been better.
Yeah, once again, physical nature. And there we go.
All right,
that's 20.
Answering back.
That is 20 for Texas State here.
Love to see that confidence after that snitch catch. Unrelenting. That was the aggression we wanted to see from him earlier, just taking it to the hoop and finishing.
And Texas State sticking with the 2 female beaters set up here. That's smart. Not only is it 2 female beaters you can depend upon, it is 4 male chasers, the 4 best defenders and offensive players for Texas State driving in here. A shot attempt and blocked by 49. Mike gets the rebound, goes across the pitch over to Mitchell, and the alley-oop on that one. Fantastic awareness from both Mike and Mitchell to look at each other, kind of give each other that eye there, wait for the patient pass.
Yeah, I love to see great athletic plays being made, and I love to see passes like that happen during the course of a game. The selflessness, being willing to do that, trusting your teammate to get up there and make that catch, that only comes with a lot of practice.
As Sam Houston is closing in on victory in this one.
Yeah, 3 goals away from winning. Texas State, though, not giving up just yet, passing the ball off once again, swinging the quaffle around. Good cut, but just unable to connect there. Unfortunate. That would have been a really clean look had he been able to bring that down.
Great help defense from Mike on that play. 1, to obscure that passing lane, but 2, if he hadn't come up with a touch on that ball, he was going to be ready to tackle whoever did touch it. So,
yeah,
great job of dropping back and being aware of where the ball was going and where it could potentially end up.
I would love to see more cuts like that from Texas State, trying to attack the hoop.
Getting aggressive and getting inside the keeper zone.
Yeah,
I agree.
Force the defense to shift and follow you along. Otherwise, you'll just walk it in, right? You got to force them to do something.
That's a missed beat on the part of Texas State, and that might be back contact. Hold on a second here. We might need an injury. Peyton may have taken a shoulder to the side of the head there.
Yeah, there's a bit of collision there between teammates, and a little bit unfortunate. He's able to walk off on his own, so that's good.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, yeah, the last thing we want to see is a game like this that is decidedly out of hand for people to go down. We've already seen one key injury for San Houston State University. Peyton is one of their best beaters, and he's going over to the sideline. Still looks a little rattled. Hopefully he'll be back in here real quick. And looks like Texas State is going to get a defensive stop on this one after Hayden was tackled and missed the shot. Once again, great effort from number 30 on that tackle attempt.
Wait, did that goal count? I think
okay, maybe.
Count,
okay, my bad. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so now Sam Houston only needing 2 more goals to finish off this game.
And the beaters doing a great job of creating space, but the chasers not taking advantage of it and getting closer to the hoop. 66 on a drive. Great pass.
Great pass, and it goes in. You love to see it. The floater from downtown. Texas State back in this game just a little bit more than they were before.
Yeah.
Now only trailing by 100 points. Game's not over, but...
And interesting to see if they're going to say that it was tipped in.
Well, it shouldn't matter at this point, right? Like, if it's tipped in by any point, if the quaffle passes the plane, it does end up in a goal.
I think they're questioning if it actually did, in terms of, like, did somebody see it actually happen, or are we just all assuming that's what we saw?
I hate to see it.
The hoops move in mysterious ways, even though they don't move at all.
That's true. A goal ref does have to confirm that it was actually a goal.
Looks like the goal is good.
No deliberation there. Just wanted to confirm if everyone saw that good? All right, great. Let's keep playing. We'll have to see it. Let's play some Quidditch.
Throw up there. Looks like Kyle's going to take a beat, and control will go to Texas State, but it won't matter. Oh, a nice block, and then it drops in. Oh, that's brutal.
That was such a good floater there to get over the top of the defender. Now, Sam Houston 1 goal away from clinching this game and the last bid. Texas State being extremely aggressive now. Beaters clearing out the space, passing the ball, and scoring. That's what we wanted to see from them. Texas State not giving up just yet.
Dropping that in the well, and great vision to attack down the field.
Texas State able to double their score in the last minute, basically. This game is very close to being over for them, but they are not giving up.
And yeah, this is stuff that when they look back at it on film, they're gonna see who was out here making the offense and the defense happening, and those people have to be able to get some more time on the field. Hayden with a floater, trying to get the ball over, and it looks like that's a goal.
Oh, it looked like there may have been a bludger thrown in his direction, in his vicinity. Not sure if it made contact with him, but it was a great initial pass from him to his the back wing chaser who was cutting in.
They're going to say beat before. That's rough.
Unfortunate.
Twom with a great beat from behind the chaser on that play to keep that awareness.
Yeah, not good for Sam Houston, but extremely good for Texas State.
No doubt.
Love to see the beater awareness there to read that play and stop it before, because that definitely went through the hoops.
Right.
Ruled counted no good. So now Texas State with another opportunity to claw their way back into this game. it would not be unheard of for Texas State to manage a comeback that seems insurmountable right now.
Kyle catches a beautiful beat attempt from Twom, and control goes back to Sam Houston State even after all that effort from Ellen.
Yeah, this makes it a little bit more difficult now on offense for Texas State. A beater exchange, Butler's on the ground. Texas State possibly able to get control back, being a little bit patient though.
And
Looking
now
for passing option, swings it to the side. Koffel goes loose.
And that's a turnover to Sam Houston State University. Ellen doing a great job of not only reacting well to the beater exchange from Twom and Kyle up here. She kicked one ball back, scooped up another one, got Hayden out of the play, and then, of course, an errant pass that goes out of bounds on that one turns the ball over. That's rough.
Rough indeed. Now Sam Houston looking to finish off this game potentially on this last possession. If they're able to score, a bludger's thrown. It's missed though. Boyce with the pass over the hoops. It's caught, and it's good. Going through. Beautiful pass by Boyce. Finishing off the game. We've seen that a lot from him at this point today. An unfortunate end to Texas State's season, but the regional, rather, there's still an at-large bid available for them potentially.
So before we end this stream, can I tell you guys a really funny story? So one of these teams knows what happens after regionals is over. The other one doesn't. So Sam Houston State University's leadership decided, because they have so many young players on their team and they want to put the pressure on them to build up key games, right? They did not tell them about at-large bids. So they played this entire tournament assuming the only way they would go to nationals is if they finish in the top 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing motivation from them. That psychological booster to really make everyone step up. And that actually makes a lot of sense. I've seen so many players from Sam Houston step up multiple times over the last 2 days to just make plays when they needed to be there.
And to their credit, there are a lot of players who played way above their skill level here this weekend, and guys that have set a new for me personally, as a person who sees them twice a week, they set a new standard of my expectation for them in terms of their skill level after this weekend.
Absolutely. They have lifted their skill level far above the floor where it was before. That bar has been set now with a bid to nationals. Sam Houston getting to show off their skills on the biggest stage in Quidditch for the U.S. Collegiate division.
And the only negative part about this is they only get to do that trick one time. So,
well, thank you for being here with us. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. This is the last game of the day. So Sam Houston coming away with the win, and Texas State unfortunately going to have to go back to the drawing board. What do you think they can do to recover and get ready for nationals if they're able to get an at-large bid?
And one, there's a lot of things that we saw that were really good out there today, right? We saw a lot of great passing. We saw a lot of great defensive hustle across the board. What we didn't see was the presence of depth, like in terms of faith in other players to come in there and rotate in and stuff like that. The only time players really got in, it seemed like when the starters got tired. So hopefully we can, in this 2-month gap, a lot of players are going to get a little bit better, a lot better in some cases, and really sometimes all it takes is one thing to click for a certain player to really get it. And there's no telling how many people it clicked for in Southwest Regionals. As a person who's been playing this sport for 6 years, sometimes it takes 7 to figure it out. Sometimes it takes 1. Sometimes it takes 1 day of practice for some players to figure it out. But there's a lot of positives that Texas State can take away from here today. But they're definitely going to be disappointed with their results. They are a program that has high expectations every single year. They are a program that is not about moral victory. That's a fact. And it's a really rough situation for them to be in because their record is not going to reflect the potential that they have here. And
Absolutely.
One of the greatest abilities you can have with a young team is potential. And I think Texas State has a lot of that. They got to capitalize on it and find out how to harness it. So like you said, they got to go back to the drawing board, but they got some stuff to think about and be proud of because they were 1 game away from being able to clinch an automatic bid. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for being here with me. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your weekend.